Hey ladies, I wanted to show you this quick eye look using Addiction Palette 2. All the colors that I'm going to use are in here, and if you have similar colors, I'll talk about it as dark or light, so that way if you have colors at home that you want to try, this look should work with those as well. The thing I like about the Addiction palettes is that it comes with complementing colors. It's also a mix of mattes and shimmers, and we have 5 of these. So this is, like I said, Addiction Palette 2. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I have already primed my eyes with our eye primer. So it looks kind of like foundation. I don't know if a little bit will come out. Woo! But it's just like a tiny bit. And like I said, I have already put that on my eyes, so I don't need to do that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my liner shader brush. It's just like a smaller brush. And I'm going to use this kind of medium dark color called Cocky. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm putting that on my lighter shader brush. And I tap off the excess, especially if it's either a loose powder or even some of these pressed powders. You want to make sure you tap off the excess so it's not falling down on your face. And then when you go to try to wipe it off, you smear it and you end up with the raccoon eyes. So let's avoid that. Then what you're going to do, I'm going to pull my eyelid out. And like I said, I already have the eye primer on, so this is going to adhere to that. But I also want to let you know to keep in mind that you want to pat it on your eye. Again, kind of what I was just talking about when you brush eyeshadow onto your eye like this in a swooping motion, you're going to build up some of that powder on the inner corner as well as out here. And if you're using a darker color, you don't want to do that because you don't want to end up with that powder of that darker color on the inside of your corner because that's where you want it to be brighter. So like I said, that was Cocky, and I'm just going to go ahead and finish with that one. And I'm going to put that brush down for a minute. Then I'm going to use a liner, a crease brush, which is kind of like a circular brush, and it's kind of small. It's like about the size of my pinky nail. And I'm going to go in with this shimmer. It's called Perplexed. It's kind of like a darker gray color. And I'm going to brush some of that on. Same thing, I'm going to tap it down, and I'm going to just kind of pat it. Once I have pat the shadow onto my eye, and it's no longer in its original form where it's kind of that powdery residue, I'm going to be able to take this and I'm going to be able to blend. And blending is really important because you don't want to leave those really harsh lines. So I'm going to go ahead and blend out. And if you have hooded eyelids, you kind of want to bring your crease line up a little bit. Otherwise, your crease color is going to get lost in those hoods. So I'm just going to blend that a little bit. And if we want to fix anything, we can always go back. There really are no rules for makeup. It's just have fun with it. And, you know, if you like something, do it. And if you don't, you can always try again. Nothing's permanent. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our liner shader brush, and I'm actually going to take our rose water. And I have not used regular water, but the thing I love about our pigments and all of our pressed palettes is that you can use any of them as a liner. So the liner shader brush is really skinny, and I'm going to actually go in with our darkest color. It's almost like a black called Peppy, and I'm going to go ahead and get that on my liner. And because of the rose water, it makes it almost like a paste. And I'm going to stay close to my lash line. And this gives it the perfect thickness of looking like a liquid liner. But liquid liner can be really hard and really scary. So this is much easier. And then I'm going to do down below. Oops. And that was super, super simple. Then I'm going back with my crease brush, and I'm actually going to use, I have 2 crease brushes, so if you were using the same one, I would say wipe it off because you used a darker color. This is one that I haven't used it with the darker color. And I'm going to use this light shade in Honorable. And again, I'm going to tap this off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to smoke out the bottom just a little bit. So this is a light, kind of a brownish gray. And since I used one of the palette colors as my liner, it was an original powder, which means it's going to kind of smoke out if I use the brush to kind of pull it down. And you can kind of see that kind of smoked out appearance. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Deluxe brush. I don't know if it's upside down. And this is really just a larger, kind of fluffier brush. And I'm going to take this color Romantic. It's a shimmer, kind of a silver. And it's the lightest one in that palette. And again, tap, tap, tap. And this is going to be kind of my color that I use under my brow. You always want a lighter color under your brow because that's going to be your highlighter. And then I'm going to use the Deluxe brush to kind of blend the rest of that line out. I had used my crease brush with that color Perplexed, and it wasn't quite as soft as I wanted it to be. So I'm just going to take this and kind of finish that up. And you can blend as much as you want. And if you like the harsher lines, some people like that look and it looks really great on them. I just prefer a little bit lighter, kind of more natural kind of blend. That's just what I prefer. And then what I sometimes do after I've done all of that is I actually go back in with just a tiny bit of Cocky and I kind of add a little bit more in the corner here. And then the very last thing that I do is I take kind of like a shadow sponge, and I'm going to use still the color Romantic, which is what I did for my highlighter, above or below my eyebrow. And I'm going to take this color Romantic, and I'm going to go on the inner corner of my eye with Romantic. And I'm just going to kind of go in a little bit. Not down too much because, like I said, it is a shimmer and I don't want to look like Tinkerbell, so I'm just going to do a tiny bit down there and kind of blend that into the Cocky and the Perplexed that I had. And that is the shadow look. A great way to finish it off is to I line my eye with Pristine. It's like a white pencil, and what that does is it really opens up your eye and gives it that illusion of being a little bit larger. Feels kind of funny if you haven't done it before, but like I said, it's a great way to kind of make it look a little bit bigger and just kind of have it pop. And then of course I would finish it off with my mascara. So like I said, that was Addiction Palette 2. That's kind of the charcoals and the blacks and things. And I'm going to demo some more. So if you wanted to see a different palette, just let me know. And if you have any questions, let me know that as well. Have a great night. Bye.